Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My last video featuring my max mage setup against the Phantom Muspah, the new boss in the latest Secrets of the North quest, solo repeatable boss. That kind of blew up overnight. Literally my first Runescape video and had over 1,000 views already within a few hours. So I thought that was kind of crazy. Kind of inspired me to actually make a legitimate guide for the boss for you guys. So without further ado, that's what we have going on here. Now, for the sake of the video, because I want this to apply to as many of you guys as possible, I basically brought budget gear. I'm just wearing full void, full elite void, I should say. And I have almost no switches, to be honest. I only have, excuse me. I only have a 4-gear switch for range, and that's basically it. So just to go ahead and show you what I got. This is my mage setup. Like I said before, for full void. I have a Blood Fury. The blood doesn't matter. Just a regular Fury is all you really need. If you have an Occult Necklace, you can do that too. I tried to make a setup more or less with like potential Ironman in mind. Obviously, not every Iron Man is going to have Eternal Boots, so just use whatever best mage accuracy boots that you do have in that case. I opted to wear a Sears ring here. It is imbued just because of the fact that you'll be on ancients, so you can cast ice spells, and you want those ice spells to land as often as possible. I originally was going to wear a Ring of Suffering, but I personally think the Seer's Ring is just more important, just so you can land those ice spells. Like, we have a Malediction Ward. This is actually pretty easy to get. I actually got this myself too, but if you want to buy, it's like 2 mil. It's really cheap. I have the new Ancient Scepter, which is the upgrade to the Ancient Staff. If you don't have that, that's fine. A Master Wand is what I used before I got the Ancient Scepter. So you can use that as well. Or just use your best mage weapon that you can that can auto-cast Ancients, and you'll be fine. Aside from that, we have our God Cape. And I'm wearing Ruby Bolts Enchanted, and as well as I have Sapphire Bolts Enchanted in my inventory. They are not Dragon bolts, just to mind you. They're just regular bolts, super cheap to make, so even an iron can make it. The biggest thing to note for this boss, your levels are more important to your gear. Okay, your gear means shit. Okay, the boss is more mechanical, so as long as you practice, you'll be able to get the boss down. That's all you need to know. That's all that matters. That's why I can go in with like almost no gear switches and like cheap budget gear like this. On that note, it's also the reason why in my inventory I have a ranging pot and the new Forgotten Brew. Now, if you're not aware, the Forgotten Brew is created by adding the new ancient essence that you get from doing the boss. Or let's say you're not able to kill the boss just yet and you want the ancient brew, you can actually mine ancient essence from these ore deposits that are right next to the boss. So that is a nice alternative towards getting the essence if you really need it. As well as if you happen to have an imbued heart, that's also where you can get essence AFK to potentially build up towards getting a saturated heart, the upgraded version of the imbued heart. But yeah, that's what the 2 potions are there for. I have level 98 mage, so my Forgotten Brew will give me a +10 magic level, the same as a imbued heart, which is actually kind of crazy, but as a potion. It'll drain my melee stats a bit, but that doesn't matter because we're basically hitting from a distance the entire time. You're never using melee in this fight. But other than that, the rest of my inventory is pretty much just food and supplies. Like I said, I have the Sapphire Bolts. That's primarily there for the prayer phase, which we'll get into later on. I only have 4-way switch for range. I just have a regular dragon crossbow. We'll go ahead and put back up the interface just so you can see the stats. So putting on my range gear, I have a dragon crossbow. I have a twisted buckler. If you don't have a buckler, that's fine. Just use the best range shield that you have. And I have my Masori assembler. And that's kind of it in terms of my 4-way switch. It's nothing complicated. Yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and go into the boss. I can show you this. One thing I will state is that I highly recommend starting off on mage because when you first enter the room, okay, you won't see it because my camera is blocking it. It won't start until you actually unless you actually click on something. So as soon as I step up, the boss is going to pop up on the right over here, and he'll either start off in his ranged form or his melee form, which is the entire reason why I like to start off in my mage outfit, just in case he starts off in his melee form, so I can try and freeze him immediately. I would recommend setting up your quick prayers to protect from melee and augury or whatever. If you don't have augury, mystic might instead. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. I'm gonna step upwards a little bit, pot up. All right, praying range. I'm in my range. He's in his range form, so I'm going to use range against him. When he does that, he's doing a magic attack, so you want to pray magic and immediately go back to range. And this part's easy. We literally just shoot him down with range. Again, he does magic attack, pray magic, go back to range. There's his melee form. You want to make sure you pray melee just in case you get hit. This is where we try and go for the freeze. We got the freeze off. And now we just smack him. If you take some damage, you can always use blood spells against him too. It's relatively easy. You don't need the greatest gear in the world. This is a purely mechanical boss, and that's probably what I like it so much. All right, he went back to his range form. So pray range, put on augury. We had a ruby spec off, which is great. He's back in his melee. Go back to your mage. He's going to do this. Now, there is a safe spot here, which is where I'm standing right now, where you will not get hit by any of the orbs during this. And if you're using a long range weapon that can go up to 10 tiles, you can actually hit all the spots during that. That he's popping up on during that time too. I'll go ahead and leave a thing in the description for you to copy that tile and import it into your game if you'd like. It's pretty easy. And we're just attacking him. Okay, he's in range again. Prayer range. Putting your range prayers. Just smack him. He's using magic. Pray magic. Go back to pray range. Keep smacking him. So now for this part, you're going to want to move around quite a bit. Otherwise, that will happen. You'll get hit. Get a bit of distance. I would also recommend maintaining a decent distance away from the boss himself too. So that way, when he does go his melee phase, you have time to freeze him before he reaches up to you. Because he does smack kind of hard. Speaking of. Like that. Oops, I got too close to him, so I took a hit by accident. Heating up, healing real quick. And let's smack him again. We're doing good. Awfully good. You notice that we're not really doing anything complicated. This is a really easy, straightforward boss. As long as you're prepared and you have a little practice, anybody can do it. You don't need crazy gear. Prayer range. Current range prayers. Smack him with more range. Now, the only thing I will point out here is that he does have a mechanic that you do need to be aware of, where sometime after he reaches a little bit below... Whoops, prayer magic. Okay, I was a little late there, so I took a hit. When he reaches sometime below 150 health, he will go into his prayer phase. When he does that, you need to be hiding behind one of these spikes because he's going to do a shockwave. Here it is. Or no, it's about to come up. Here it is. He's going to do a shockwave, which will damage you hard if you're not behind a spike. That's the shockwave. I actually just barely missed that. Okay. Oh, put on my sapphire bolts now. For this part, I highly recommend trying to have your attacks happen in between his attacks, like there. So that way you can switch to smite and switch back to pray range. Smite, pray range, pray magic since he's using magic, pray range, switch to smite, pray range, switch to smite, pray range, pray magic, go back to range, smite, pray range, smite, pray range. I'm gonna go ahead and eat up here real quick because he's about to phase out. I'm gonna go back to my ruby bolts as well. All right, now here, spikes will come out into ground like every few seconds. Oops. So you need to be aware of that. There we go. And he does do his range attacks a little faster. He does, I think, like 1 tick faster. Other than that, it's basically the same thing. The spikes will pop up wherever you are standing. So I like to... There we go. We killed him. And that's the boss. It's pretty easy. Pretty straightforward. Anybody can do it with budget gear. Again, like I mentioned before, the main thing that matters is levels. I don't know why I keep it on my hands, but levels over gear. So if you need to bring any potions like I did, the ranging potion and forgotten brew, go ahead and bring them. Okay, those will help out tremendously. If it helped out, go ahead and let me know in the comment section down below. If there's any other bossing guides you would like to see, let me know in the comments as well. I'm looking to try and make as many guides as possible on the channel for as much content as possible. If you're not aware, I am a completionist account. So that means I'm trying to complete the collection log. I'm trying to complete all the combat achievements, that sort of thing. So I'm basically more than likely going to be have experience in every single aspect of the game, including skilling, PVM, PvP, all the good stuff. So if you have any questions, by all means, let me know and I might make a video about it. But other than that, my name is Brian. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and hit that bell button. It's the best way to know when I make more videos such as this one. And other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace, guys.